Hey guys, welcome back to Maxie's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making homemade burgers. Now I'm making everything from scratch including the brioche buns. I'm also going to teach you how to make a really rich beef patty for your burgers. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll start by making our Tang Zong. Now this is going to make our bread very soft, chewy and tender. So you just have to add your milk and water to a pot and then add in your flour as well and mix everything until it comes together. This is the consistency you want to go for, and make sure you don't do anything on high heat or else it will burn. So we'll set this aside and start working on our brioche dough. I'm using a stand mixer, but always remember that if you don't have a stand mixer, you can use your hand to knead. It will just take a longer time because you want to build enough gluten so your bread is very stretchy, soft and nice. Guys, unfortunately I didn't record the part where I added the Tang Zong to the bowl, but please don't forget to do that. Add it at this stage and then add the egg and the egg yolk. Guys, one egg yolk, don't add two full eggs. The egg yolk would help like brighten up the color of the dough, so it would give it that nice yellow color we want because we're making a brioche dough. So yeah, don't forget that. Kneading on high speed is very necessary. This is what develops the gluten and makes your dough very stretchy, so make sure you do this part. Just take a look at how my dough looks after we knead it on high speed, so do that as well. If you're in a very cold place, just create that warm environment for your dough. Put it in the oven and turn the lights in the oven on, and it will just do the job. It will create that warm environment for your dough and it will rise beautifully. That's what I did. Now our dough is done and you can actually go ahead and bake the bread, but we're going to put the dough in the fridge overnight, and trust me, this is going to build some very nice flavors. So don't rush, just put it in the fridge and bake the bread the next day. once you've weighed your dough, you just want to bring everything together and then roll it nicely on a flat surface. You want to make sure that the top is as smooth as possible so you get really nice dough balls. So we're going to cover this for and let it proof for 45 minutes to an hour. But we're going to make our what do we call this? I don't know. This a name for this thing. I don't know, but we're going to brush the dough over with this thing. Here's egg and milk wash. So this is egg and milk. So we're going to brush the dough with the egg and milk wash. And we're using egg and milk because we want it to be very, you know, yellow. We want to get that nice brioche, you know, yellow look. Here we go. So we're done baking our bread and it looks so good. It tasted so good as well. I just to be honest, I plan to brush them over with some garlic butter, but I forgot. So yeah, look how chewy and stretchy that looks. So we're done with the bread. Let's move on to the patty, guys. So let's not lie, I know that this is a long list of ingredients to make something as simple as a burger patty, but just hold on and trust me, okay? Now you see that breadcrumb thing we just did? That's a very important part of this thing because it would help bring moisture to the patty. Now I used 250 grams of minced beef and 250 grams of minced pork. If you don't eat pork, just use 500 grams of beef. That'll work just fine. I added in my diced onions. Now dice them as finely as you can, and then my minced garlic, chili powder, salt, black pepper. If you have garlic powder and you want to add some more garlic, add the garlic powder, parmesan, fresh parsley. And now guys, you guys can tell that our breadcrumbs have been soaked. They've soaked up the milk, and that's what you want. So you're going to add it to your bowl, and then we're going to add just the yolk of one egg. Now the yolk will make this patty very rich. I also added mixed herbs, don't forget that, and also add lemon zest. That one I forgot, but please don't forget it because that's how I make it all the time. I just forgot in this case. So you want to mix everything together and then you get a rich, nice, you know, beef and pork mixture. Now I know that everything looks brown over here. Guys, nothing has happened. When this meat is exposed to oxygen, this is what happens. So it hasn't gone bad or anything of that sort. So yeah. So I just cut some parchment paper, put it on my tray, and you guys can just see what I'm doing. I just took some of the mixture, the meat mixture, put it in my palms, and then flatten them out. Now I made it very flat because when you actually put them on the grill, it's going to shrink, and I didn't want it to be so thick. That was our very last one. It was a mini one, and I always use that for tasters, so I'm going to taste that when I'm done. So I'm using a grill pan, and I just drizzled some olive oil in the pan, and I'm going to spread the oil out in the pan. Guys, I guess you can use a normal frying pan if you don't have a grill pan. It's going to work just fine. I have to learn to be patient, so I wasn't patient enough and I flipped the patty, but then I flipped it and I made it cook for some more time, and there we go, guys. So yeah, I did all of my patties, and yeah, ta-da! So we're going to move on to making the burger. So we're going to make the rest of the stuff. We'll start with the caramelized onions. So I'm just putting some oil in my pan over medium to low heat, and I'm going to add my onions cut into rings, some salt and sugar. I also added some black pepper for seasoning. Now you can actually just leave your onions in the pan and not like move them, and then let them have some charred marks before you actually start turning everything around. But like, I'm very impatient So I just moved everything around and eventually I got what I wanted, so that's fine. At some point, I had to add like a splash of water to create steam to soften the onions and, you know, to do something with the sugar to caramelize them, to caramelize the onions. But to be honest, long story short, just toss everything around until you get this nice brown, you know, caramelized onions. Okay, so I used some tomatoes and some lettuce as well. And I've already prepped all of that, washed them, done that. Now to our to our burger sauce. To mayonnaise, you want to add some ketchup and some Dijon mustard, black pepper, mixed herbs and salt, and sugar, guys. Now I didn't put any measurements for these because I just want you to freestyle it. So just go ahead and mix everything together. If you don't like the taste of Dijon mustard, please don't add a lot. Just do you. It's your food, so do whatever you want to do. Remember, Maxlin's just here to guide you, so do it however you feel like. Just don't buy burger sauce from the supermarket. Please make your own burger sauce. Thank you. So we're done with that and we're moving on to the next stage. We're going to assemble our burger. So I've just taken one of the brioche buns that we made, slicing it into 2 equal parts, and I'm going to spread some softened butter on both sides and then toast the bread. Once we're done, I'm just going to spread a generous amount of our homemade burger sauce on the bottom part of the bread. Generous amounts, guys. Once that's done, we're going to put the lettuce next. And then after the lettuce, we're going to put our tomatoes on top. Now, always salt and pepper your tomatoes. I said this in my sandwich recipe video, the one that I posted before this, that you always have to salt and pepper your tomatoes. They make them nicer. So please don't skip this part. Salt your tomatoes and pepper them. So after that, we're going to add our caramelized onions. Add as much as you like. These onions were so good, so feel free to add a lot. Okay, so once you're done with that, if you want to use pickles, I hate pickles, but oh my god, guys, so I just remember that I didn't show you how I put the cheese on because I was so tired. But I just put the cheese on, put a splash of water in the pan, and then covered it with a lid to create the steam to melt the cheese. So do that as well. Okay, so once you add that, add some bacon if you want, and then put a generous amount of the sauce on the upper part of the bun and close the burger. And that's it, guys. This was very juicy, it was very delicious, and I hope you guys try it. I struggle to get proper pictures and videos, but this is what I have. Can't wait to see you in my next recipe video. Bye.